Well, good morning. Thought I would take you on a walk in my garden and see how things are growing. Okay, through the garden. And looks like a river dog wants to go with. Are you ready? You want to go see the garden? Okay, let's go. My little Roo. She's excited about the garden too, apparently. So, that we check out the strawberry bed first. This is the first time I have had this many strawberries. I mean, look at these. There's so many of them. It's crazy. They used to be across the other side of the yard, and I moved most of them this year, and they love it over here. Look at that whole side over there too. It's crazy. We have lots of strawberries. I gotta get it covered before the birds beat me to it. And it's also the asparagus bed, if you can tell. Nice big asparagus. I just planted those in the last year, so it'll be a while before I can have them. I also noticed while I was out here earlier, my apple trees. I need to come out here and kind of cut some off. There should only be one apple per cluster. So I need to come out here with a pair of little snips and snip them off. Lots of them. I'm going to have lots and lots of apples. And I don't spray anything. I don't put anything on them. I mean, some of them are damaged, but for the most part, I get a decent amount of apples. So, there we are, heading to the garden. I put down my coffee. I don't know if you could see them or hear them, but little bees. I know they're putting holes in my wood. There they are. Oh, gone. It's gone. So the sweet potatoes are coming up. They're doing well. These were, and I didn't think they would, I wasn't sure they would work. Golden zucchini, they were really old seeds. None of them came up. These are Black Beauty zucchini. And then they have all come up. That one I started inside, I transplanted. These are Yellow Crookneck. All of those came up. The Caserta, only one came up out of those three. And he looks a little sad. These, okay. All of this is supposed to be okra. None of the okra came up that I put in by seed. Those were transplants. So, I think today I will start that one right there, River ran into. I don't know what happened to that guy. But these are doing well. Those three look like Hill Country okra. Not sure what that one is. Oh look! Looky there! It's gonna flower soon. Hi little guy. I'm gonna have okra before I know it. But none of them, not a single one germinated. I'm not sure why. So I'm going to redo those. The same thing happened all along here. These are sunflowers. Not a single sunflower came up except for one. One sunflower. Okay, maybe two. I see it too. And these little guys, look, they're all getting ready to flower. The bees are going to be happy. Over there, more sweet potatoes in the pots, regular potatoes. And I would like to do a little shout out to my friend who made these last year and sold them. It's one of my favorite things in here. So let me tell you a little story about a potato. Let me tell you a story about a potato. These little guys, okay, these little guys were, I planted them last year in one of these beds. Now, as the story goes, I planted them, they got big and bushy, and I didn't get a single potato. Now this year, this is where they were planted. This year, they started growing. See, here's one right here. Right here. Oh, hang on. So this year, they started growing in this bed. So, I dug them up, and I put them in the tower, and I'll be darned if they didn't survive. There's another one. This year, this is the pepper bed. Lots of peppers in this bed. Peppers like to hold hands. So, look, I got all kinds of life out here. Sunflower getting ready to bloom. So, yeah, I did not expect them to live, but they're living. So I'll have to move that other one into the tower also. So, this bed, okay, I don't even know how to number these beds, but let's just start here. First of all, could I just say, do you not just love the cattle panel trellises? I cannot wait to see these things fully grown and beautiful, although that means it's the end of summer, which kind of stinks. Everything has a season, I suppose. So, let's start here. These are Be It Alphas. These I started inside. Hey, looky there. There's a tiny little one. Hi, little ones. I didn't think you were going to survive. We'll cover them back up because the chipmunk likes to dig them up. Which is what happened right here. He crawled up underneath this basket, underneath here, and dug up that seedling. Ay. This is the cross I bear. Anyway, Be It Alphas. Zach Stiver, I hope you're right. I hope there are a ton of really good cucumbers that come out of this, because so far the ones that I planted inside, I started inside, other than that little baby, have survived. There is a Brussels sprout right there. That one is a honey nut, butternut. They're small. I grew them last year. They're perfect for me. I'm the only one in this household, so they're small. They're about the size, a little bigger than my fist. They're perfect for me to eat. I grew some bigger ones to freeze, but I love butternut squash soup. But these are great for me to eat when they're done. This is Rapicante zucchini. These things are huge. It will completely take over this trellis. I hope it doesn't kill out that butternut. Acorn squash on this trellis. I planted a lot. 3 there, 3 there. 1 was a transplant. I'm gonna have to cut these back because that is way too many acorn. But last year, everything got dug up. Every time I planted it, it got dug up. So I planted extra, and then I'll have to thin them, or maybe I'll move some over there. Tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. Lots and lots of tomatoes. These across here, I'm not going to go through and tell you what everyone is until they get bigger. But there's at least 5 of them here that the tags fell out. And I just planted them. So we'll find out what they are when they grow. I need to come through and trim them. Okay, onions everywhere. Onions everywhere. More tomatoes. This is a big one. I think this is the pink Vernache. I think it's how you pronounce it. I even see a little flower. I have tomatoes soon. Tomato, tomato. Okay. This one Beets. They're just red Detroit beets. I'm going to, I eat the leaves. I make a salad, I use the leaves on them. But they won't be ready to actually eat the roots for a while. Spinach. The spinach is doing very well. Very, very well. I don't usually have good luck with spinach, but I started it super early. Lettuces. This freckle lettuce. I love this one. Oh, here it is. That's it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but there it is. That's my favorite. Time to come out here and make a salad for lunch again. I started new lettuce over there. I don't remember which ones those were either. Oh wait, I put a tag. So unlike me. While we're coming around, this is this is another honey nut butternut that I started inside, and then I started seeds over there. But they haven't come up. They were old seeds, so I don't really know. Okay. Paris Island Coss. I don't know. It's like a romaine, but I don't grow it that way. I just cut it off and eat it. These I actually started inside in a bag, and they never got much bigger than my fingernail. So I just threw the whole bag out here, and look, lo and behold, started growing. So I'm happy with that. This side is, I give up, by the way, China rose radishes. I give up. They go to seed every year. They never, I don't know if it's the seeds, I don't know. But it goes to seed and it never actually produces. This is all I ever get. That's it. So I will let it go to seed because from what I understand, seed pods, this radish here I let go because I wanted to keep the seeds. And then I have discovered that these little seed pods are edible, and man, are they good. They're really good. I like to throw them on my salad. So I'm going to just let those go. I'll just let those go. Keep some seeds, maybe sell them in my Etsy shop, and enjoy them. Another round of spinach. Seems to be doing well. Parsnips. I've never grown parsnips. I started these from my mom. She asked me to make space for them, so I did. And they're actually growing. I'm gonna have to read up on it, I guess. I really don't know anything about parsnips. Another pepper bed with a random red cabbage. This bed I made a plastic top for. I just wanted to see if it would work so I could start stuff super early. Nothing survived except that cabbage. I'm not even sure it's going to do well. But I like how the little droplets are coming off of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, I don't know if it'll focus. But it has a little water drop. There it is. The little droplets coming off. That's beautiful. I should probably snap a picture of that. It's really pretty. So the rest are peppers. Lots of peppers. I put a zinnia, giant purple zinnia on each end of this bed. But they haven't come up yet either. Every time I start to get worried about it, hey, is that the beginning of a pepper? Looky there. Well, hello, little you. I might actually have peppers this year. And look, it's a little roly-poly. And a bunch of what look like flea beetles. Uh-oh. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. They are moving all over the place. Oh, look, it's on the back of that tag, too. Okay, I guess it's time to spray. So I spray with neem oil, and takes care of most pests, including bees. So you have to do them at night After the bees have gone in for the evening, then you got to come out here and spray. And that'll hopefully take care of them. Wow, that's a lot. I had no idea. This is why I do garden walks. Look at what I discover. Okay, so there is the other pepper bed with the potatoes that are growing in it. This is a lemon squash. Again, look at the water droplets on there. Isn't that pretty? My garden just amazes me all the time. Alright, this one, random. These are, oh, hey, Viet Alphas. Look at that. Zachary Stiver. Probably shouldn't uncover them until they get just a tiny bit bigger because I'll chipmunk loves to eat them. So they came up by seed. That's good to see. Here, I did it again. Let's go around the backside. Ouch. Broccoli. Yeah, that's broccoli. It's probably, I don't know if it'll make it or not either. Brussels sprouts. There's that one in the back there. Back there's a Brussels sprout. That one's a broccoli. That one's another Brussels sprout. Radishes. Purple plum radishes, which are my favorite. I love those so much. And look, something's been eating on those too. Okay, definitely gonna have to spray. Well, it's gonna rain tonight. And 2 rows of beets, which I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. I probably should learn it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So that one's doing well too. And then 2 more tomato beds. Oh, looky there. The dragon tongue bush beans are coming up. That's good to see. There's a brand new one. Hi, little guy. Welcome to my garden. So I'll give it another couple weeks and then I will plant more of those beans down at the other end. So I have a nice succession of plants. It's a succession of beans. So I plant basil. I like to throw basil in. That's a good bug detourer. Marigolds also. So there's cinnamon basil, there's regular basil, lots of tomatoes that need to be a little tender loving care. They need to be trimmed. Okay, this one is around anise. Honestly, I replanted it because it didn't come up, and what had happened, apparently when it rained, it got moved over. There's one there, and that one was a transplant I started inside. It's getting ready to flower, it looks like. More tomatoes, calendula that came back from last year, reseeded. Lots of onions, more tomatoes. On this side, there's garlic down there. I've never grown garlic, that's the first year, but next year I will definitely make more space for it. I only did 1 bulb. And they're doing really well. So that's what I'd like to, when I start something that I hadn't done before, just do a little bit of it. Play with it, learn, and then if I like it, give it more space next year. Calendula that reseeded. These are Boston pickling. Now, I always plant a lot. There's a new one right there coming up. Hi, little one. Wait, where are you? Right there. I always overplant because, like I said, chipmunk likes to eat it all. But from what I can tell, this year I don't seem to be having that problem. They don't seem to be eating things as quickly because I discovered we have a coyote back there in the woods behind the house there. Apparently I have a coyote. So I seem to only have 1 chipmunk this year. And I see him running around, so I'm okay with 1. Right here, delicata squash, which I looked everywhere for seeds. Had a hard time finding them. The one place I found them wanted to charge me $13 to mail it. I'm just not going to do that. So I put it up on Roots and Refuge friends page and on the Stive Tribe for the Stivers Homestead Facebook page. And a little garden angel sent me seeds. I put them in the ground yesterday and apparently didn't cover them up. But I don't see where, well, maybe somebody dug right there, but I don't see where anybody dug anything. I'm gonna have to get some stuff and get them covered, because when I planted them last night, it was getting ready to rain. I ran out here really quick. The mosquitoes were horrible, and I forgot to cover it up. So let's all say a little prayer that chipmunk didn't come dig it all up. And in the meantime, I will cover it and say a prayer that those seeds come up. Okay, let's move on to the other garden. Random carrots. I don't know where they came from or why they're growing, but I'm gonna leave them. More Boston pickling. Again, I'm gonna have to thin it. I know that says Tigger melon, but I couldn't find seeds for Tigger melon. So it's a melon. There's a new one right there starting to come up. But I don't remember which melon I put in there. We're gonna find out soon. Over here, I want to say Ben Kenobi watermelon. It's not. It's Ben something watermelon. And they're starting to come up. And there's another little roly-poly. And they're coming up. That one just came out of the ground this morning. This one, Nordicarms. Nordicarms? I don't know. But they came up too. I was starting to worry because none of the melons were coming up. But because none of the melons came up, I assumed that meant they just took longer to germinate. This one, Kajari melon and Collective Farm Woman. And so far, they haven't come up at all. A little roly-poly. Yeah, I definitely have to spray. Okay, off to the little garden. Purple plum radishes. My faves. I haven't checked them in a while, actually. Oh, look, there's a tiny radish. Give it more time. Go back in there. I need to weed this bed. Eggplant. Thai lavender frog egg. If you haven't grown those, they are like this big. They're not very big. But the plant gets covered in them. And they're great to just throw in a stir fryer soup or something. And again, things are eating it. Cucamelons. I started those inside. Cucamelons, I thought, did not like being transplanted, but they seem to be doing just fine. I was a little worried about them, but they're starting to grow. I want to be inundated. Whoop, they're there. Be inundated with cucamelons soon. Nasturtiums on the trellis there. This one, same thing. I'm right. I see my shadow. Nasturtiums, a lot of eggplant. I do love eggplant. There's a lot of them in there. And on the end there is a ground cherry, pineapple ground cherry. None of mine germinated. Not a single one. Where they germinated. Oh, there's a flower. A metal flower. None of them germinated, or they germinated and then died. None of them did well. So my aunt started one in her hydroponics kit. Look, there's a little flower getting ready to... I don't know if you can see it, but he's going to open soon. There's another one. Thank you to... Oh, look. I love garden tours. Look, there's the first ground cherry right there. Thank you, Auntie Barb. I can't wait to eat you. These are Queen Red Lime zinnias. Wow, the mosquitoes are bad out here this morning. Those aren't coming up yet. So she started one in her hydroponics for me. And there it is. So peas. Peas are finally growing. And I only had to plant them once because I got them all covered up. Excited about those. Whole row. This is the garden. This is the bed that I forgot what I planted. And the picture I took of the seed packs got deleted. So apparently what I grew was tatsui, which I love, tatsui, right there. And then I reseeded because that was the only one that came up, so I need to thin those. That looks like kohlrabi, purple kohlrabi. And I see a random Ragged Jack back there. Right back there, Ragged Jack. And some lettuce. Apparently that's what I planted there. More peas. Ragged Jack that's going to seed again. These little seed pods. These are, okay. So here's the flower. This is a Ragged Jack. So I let them go to seed. They came back from last year. They reseeded themselves or just kept growing or something. There's the seeds, or there's the flowers. And then these are the little seed pods. So I'm going to let these go because I'm out of seeds. So I'm going to let these go and keep some of these. But these are really, really tasty. These taste so good. They're really great on your salad for crunchy. See, this whole thing is full of seed pods. I have to get through this quickly because my camera keeps overheating. Swiss chard. More peas. These random... These are beans that came back from last year in my walkways. And I didn't have... See, what I did was I planted them. And I wasn't sure they were going to work, but they actually stayed. They actually survived, and they're doing great. There is a particular kind of green bean that I really like. I'm going to go get in the shade because it's getting a little... camera's getting overheated. Voletto. It's a purple pole bean. Voletto something something, I can't remember. I can't remember what the name of it is. If they're purple pole bean, Voletto Trifino or Trifino Voletto something, but I haven't been able to find seeds for them. And I think that's what was growing in the walkway there, because that's where I planted them last year. And I didn't save any seeds. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. So I took them out of the walkways, put them in the dirt, and they're doing well. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that's actually what those are, and not purple noodle beans. I love purple noodle beans, but they don't can very well. You really just can use them fresh and then stir fry. You can't really boil them. They don't do well. They don't hold up well. I like them, but I want to be able to do a lot more canning of green beans this year. I froze a lot last year, but I want to be able to can them this year. So we're going to move forward because I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. So we are heading over to the squash garden. Squash and watermelon garden. River. Hi, River. Hi, Bug. They're doing very well. I started most of these by seed in the ground. That was a transplant. There is butternut, blue Hubbard, another weird named one, kabocha. That one looked really good. Acorn, butternut, spaghetti squash. That was spaghetti squash too, but they didn't come up. Oh, I'm sorry, that's butternut. And they didn't come up. But I have one that I started inside. Those haven't been planted yet. Watermelon. These have not been planted yet because they are in the seed trays on the deck. I'm waiting for them to get bigger. I don't know what's going on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I started that. I may have started a seed there, but it didn't come up. These are sugar babies. Nope, sorry. These are mountain yellow. Sugar babies are on the deck growing a little bit more before I put them out. So I've never, ever, ever gotten a watermelon. I try every year. I keep trying different things. This year they're in the ground with black plastic. So I'm hoping just one watermelon. It's really all I ask. Just the one watermelon. But we'll see. So there's my garden. My favorite place to be. Okay, well, one of my favorite places to be. 'Cause honestly, it's one of my favorite places to be. I'd like to be on the beach somewhere also, or on a mountain, hiking in the woods, or out in the middle of a lake fishing. So yeah, it's one of my favorite places. This time of year, this is my favorite place to be. Alright, that is it. Hope you enjoyed the garden walk. I know I did. I discovered a bunch of stuff. I was out here once already this morning and didn't notice all those little things. Didn't notice the little flea beetles and the new growth on the peppers. So these are a good idea. I like doing these. Alright, you guys have a good day. River, you want to say goodbye? Are you ready? Go! And there she goes.